Good morning from Ashburton, New Zealand. I've just gone and dropped off my wife's vehicle at my mechanic's place. Shout out for Robbie. I think he's the best mechanic in Ashburton. So, but a shout out for Robbie. He's a really neat guy to deal with as well. I just was going to start this blog off with an apology first. I'm sorry, it's been a bit of a while since my last blog. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes. Rose has been in hospital and she has had an operation. She had fibroids growing in her womb. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how they happen or why they happen, but they happen. And she had 3 fibroids, 2 of which were about 4 inches big. So it's made her stomach swell up and made it look like she was pregnant, but she's not pregnant, believe me. I'm 60 years old and I had the vaccine, the chop. Let me cross this road so I don't get run over. I had a vasectomy when I was in my 20s, late 20s, so there's no way. But anyway, let's move on. So I need to apologise for that. There's been a lot I've been dealing with because, through the operation they bombard the fibroids with radiation, and that really stuffs up your body. And Rose has been feeling nauseous, and then sometimes she feels cold, and then sometimes she feels hot, and it's just the radiation. It just poisons your body. So I don't really know if it's a good thing or not, but the medical people seem to use it, so we can only trust in the doctors, can't we? Well, my trust is a little bit limited there as well, but never mind, that's my point of view. So I'm very sorry for that. I've been looking after Rose, and as well as working. Normally Rose and I work together as a team, but with Rose being down now, I'm out there doing it myself. So by the time I get home, I'm so tired. Then I've got to do all my book work, because we own our own company. I've got to do all my book work and keep things up and running, and so while Rose recovers. So I'm hoping, they're saying to me a week to 2 weeks. She had the operation, well, it's now Wednesday. Tuesday today, sorry. No, Wednesday today. Oh my God, how the weeks go? It's Wednesday today, so she's had it she had it last Thursday. So, and she is starting to come right. So, yeah, a couple of prayers for Rose would be great if you could. So anyway, and that out of the way, I'm trying to do a blog every week, like I said before, but my priority at the moment is getting Rose. She's my wife, and she is the most important person in my life. So of course that has to come first. But please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel so it can pull in an income for Rose and I. So please like and subscribe. And let's see if we can and follow. Let's see if we can get enough to get monetized. So anyway, my blog today is all the rising prices that are happening around the world, and it's all to do with fuel, petrol, the lubrication of the world. So I thought I'd do a blog because I see a lot of people are doing blogs all around the world about the impact that it's having on the people, and I thought, New Zealand is a wonderful place, and there is a lot of people that are living from paycheck to paycheck. There are a lot of people out there that are this hike will really totally affect. For instance, for me, my van before this happened, it used to cost me $130 to fill up my tank from empty, and that would give me 3 days to Timaru and back for $130. The other day I filled it up, the van up, and it cost me $180, an extra $50 for doing the same mileage. So yeah, it's a big impact. So I can only just imagine people that are living from paycheck to paycheck. How do they make it work? I don't understand. So anyway, and my heart goes out to you, my prayers go out to you if you're one of those people that are just struggling, because it's not good. And frankly, I think our government should be doing a lot more than what it's doing. I'm just going down I came the wrong way because I wanted to show you what we're paying for fuel here. So I was just going to go down to the Caltex and so you can see what we're paying here, and then we can go, and then I'm just going to walk home and explain to everybody what's actually happening in New Zealand. Like, there seems to be no shortage of cars on the road. I think it hasn't got to the stage where people just are saying, I can't afford to go to work, but I think it could happen. And if the government is not going to be a little bit on the ball about it, I think it's going to happen. I honestly do. Because people can only take so much. You know, when COVID hit the world, all the prices went up, supermarkets especially. But then after COVID, the prices didn't go back down again. So who's profiteering? Honestly, and I think this is going to be the same with the fuel companies. I can't see the price of petrol going back down to $2 something a litre anymore. I don't think it's going to happen, because these are corporations, and the corporations are there to look after themselves. The corporations are there to look after their shareholders. They don't care about us. It's all about profit. But anyway, look, I'm here now. I'm just going on the other side of it because the sun seems to be on this side of the board. So let me just go past it a bit and I can show you. Wait a minute. I don't know if you can see that. Try to get away from the sun. If you can't see it, 91 at the top. 91 is $3.37.7. So it's $3.37 a litre. That's the pump price for, if you're a member, if you're on their pump to program. If you just come in regular, it's $3.47.7. Premium 95, which is what I use in my vehicle, is 36.9.7, and diesel is 38.9.7. You can see that. So I wanted to show you that. How can, like when I was growing up, I did a bit of a, I went on to the AI and did a bit of SWOT, a bit of digging. And you know, 10 years ago, petrol in New Zealand, I'd say it would have been 91, was $1.70 a litre. $1.70 a litre. 10 years ago. That's not long. And diesel was 90 cents a litre. You know, all through me growing up, 60 now, diesel's always been half the price of petrol, because diesel's a byproduct of refining petrol. So it's just a byproduct. So it's good how we've allowed to make byproduct something out of a byproduct. It's good. It's less waste, but nevertheless, it's a byproduct. So how can diesel be more than petrol? You know, I just don't understand it. I run 100 octane in my Holden, because since I reconditioned the engine I decided, after talking to the mechanic, that was the best thing to do because it keeps the engine from carboning up. So, by the way, I'm selling that at the moment, so if anyone wants a really good Holden, give me a bell. But anyway, getting back to the blog. So, the thing that I think is wrong is we pay GST in this country, 15% GST, and that's on petrol as well. So, and part of the money, the part of the structure of petrol and the pricing of petrol is the fact that the government charges a 48% tax on petrol. 48%. So then they're charging GST of 15%. So really, if you think about it, what the government's doing is they're taxing a tax, because half, if you fill your tank up, like I say for me, I fill up my tank, it costs me $180 now. Half of that is tax that the government has imposed on the petrol. Then, so on that half that is just tax, I also pay 15% GST on the GST on the tax. So I'm paying GST on tax. I'm paying it. They're double dipping, and the government can quite easily relax that tax, even if it's just while we're going through this. Why can't they be a little bit more accommodating than what they are? I don't understand it. Totally. I was going to cross the road there, but I walked this way. I totally don't understand it. But in a way, I think you've got to think about it this way. Every government in this world, doesn't matter what country you're in, every government is a corporation. If you go onto the company's file, the company's ledger, and you will find in this country, let's talk about this country, you will find a company called the National Party of New Zealand, and the Prime Minister of this country is the CEO of that corporation. So their main goal is to make revenue, make money for that corporation. You know, having it set up that way is not serving the people. It's not, because they're not serving us. We're not the beneficiaries, although we're paying all the tax. If they were a corporation, the main purpose of a corporation is to make money for the investors of that corporation, right? That's the structure. We, the people, are not the beneficiaries of that corporation, although we're paying all the tax and we're paying for every... Unbelievable, the taxes in this country, just saying this. Taxes on taxes on taxes on taxes. Unbelievable. I don't think how anybody... I'm running a company here, and taxes on taxes on taxes is incredible. If I wasn't running my own company and making more, like I'm middle class, I'm more the blue collar, but my heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to the people who are just scraping by, because with this paying taxes on taxes on taxes, you know, and they may throw you a couple of $100 at the end of the year, say, oh, look, you paid too much taxes. And everybody goes, oh, wow, this government's good. It's not. It's robbed you dry and thrown you the crumbs. So you got to understand that this government is a corporation. It's not there to serve the people as it's supposed to. On paper, they'll say that. But anybody can say anything, really. It doesn't make it the truth. The truth is in performance. You know, they haven't come across to give any relief to anybody about anything that is happening in the world today. So I really, or no, sorry, in New Zealand. So I really don't know. I think we need a new government myself. It hasn't really been there for the people. You know, it could be the people's hero if it wanted to be, by relaxing taxes and making it so people can make ends meet. They could also go to these supermarkets who are making billions, even in New Zealand, billions of dollars a year in profit, and make them pull their prices down, because they are price gouging, utterly and totally price gouging. I can't believe it. Every time I go shopping, I do the shopping, I do the groceries, and when Rose comes out with me the odd time, normally it's once a month or once every 2 months, she just gobsmacks. She can't believe how the prices have gone up. It's just unbelievable. And how much can we take? You know, this is it. And it seems like we've been railroaded. We're like bloody sheep being pushed into a pen. I don't know what pen they've got lined up for us, but that's what it seems to be. And I think something really needs to be done about it. It's so hard for everybody to make a living. I went and did a bit of an exercise about a month ago, and I was walking down the street, and I was looking at the cars parked on the side of the road, at the registrations and the warrant of fitnesses. And I noticed that there were so many cars, like half the cars that I looked at weren't registered to be on the road. And people just can't afford it, because registration to be on the road is just another tax. If you're registering your car to be on the road, but then you're paying 48% tax on your petrol, on your petrol as well. So I can totally understand why people aren't registering. And you know what happens? The police comes along, or they'll get pulled over. You got no registration, you get a fine. You know, how can you win? If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. And you can't afford it because the government's not doing their job. The government is not doing what they're elected to do, and that's be there for the people to make us a better life and a better living for us. We elected them. They're supposed to be working for us. But that's not the way it is. That's the way they want it to sound, but that's not the way it is. I'm not really a political person. I'm just a normal person living in New Zealand that is seeing day to day what's happening. And frankly, I've had enough. I've had enough of the bullshit. I'm sorry if someone gets offended by my language, but I'm sick of the bullshit. It's just ongoing. And they just keep on pushing the people, There's no bloody Christmas Day for us. But then they are pocketing thousands and thousands. You know what else? I would really like to do a bit of research and find out what our Prime Minister is making a year. There's a policy in this country, which I think is utterly and totally crap, that any Prime Minister that has been any acting Prime Minister that is not in power anymore still pulls a salary. Are you serious? It's like a CEO of a big company, and he gets sidelined. And the CEO gets changed in the company because it's not making the projections it should have been. He's not meeting the protocol that's been required of him, and so he gets changed, but he still pulls the salary out of that company. It's ridiculous, totally ridiculous. It's just like our ex-Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern. We had her through the COVID. She's now living in Australia. Now, so all the money, that tax money that's going to pay her salary, is going to Australia. I just don't understand. I really just don't understand what's happening in the political arena, and I think it's about time for us people to be saying something, because it's our money. It's our money, and this corporation is coming along and taking our money. They don't give us much option. We have to pay it. We buy food, there's tax in it. Buy alcohol, there's tax in it. Buy cigarettes, there's tax in it. Buy petrol, there's bloody tax in it. So to live in this country, you've got to pay tax. Not to talk about your PAYE, you haven't got to. When you get your wages, your taxes are already deducted. You don't have an option in that. So, and even with I own a diesel. I got a Jeep Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, and it's diesel, and I love it. And I brought it. When I brought it, diesel was nearly half the price. It was a little bit more inflated than half, but it was still around about half. Well, since I brought it, diesel escalated so high, but why? It's a byproduct. I just think there's a hidden agenda there, but never mind. So the people need to get up and say something. I'm really happy to see what's happening in Ireland with the trucks, similar to what happened in Canada over the COVID. And I think people have to be really, really pushed, I think, before something happens. And I think it's really, really close in this country for that to start happening, because the government's not performing. So, like I said, I'm not a really political person, and I don't really like the subject of politics, because it's an opinion thing. A lot of people have different opinions, but as long as you can understand that my opinion is just my opinion, it doesn't have to be your opinion, and I don't care what your opinion is. You can have a different opinion than me. That's fine, because we're different people, and we see things from different perspectives. So it's all good, but it's got to the stage in this world where you offend people if you have a different opinion than them. And I really don't know where that mindset comes from, because it didn't used to be like that. So what I'm blogging here is just my opinion. I think it's an opinion of a lot of people, but I don't mean to offend anybody. So please forgive me if I offend you. That's not what I'm up to. I'm just trying to let people know out there life in New Zealand and how hard it is over this war, which I'm starting to actually think, my opinion again, that it's staged. I honestly think this is being staged by the people who pull the strings, who pull the cords. We're just puppets. So I think a lot of what we're going through, like the world changed after COVID, didn't it? I think it's going to cross the road. I think you have to be blind not to see that. The world changed after COVID. 2019, everything changed, and the world hasn't gone back to the way it was. Getting worse, and there's a lot of profiteering, and how thin can they make your income before you break? So many people out there have got children. How do you feed them, clothe them, educate them when you haven't got the money to do so? And it's no fault of the parent. The parent still goes out to work and works their bones to the ground to be able to bring in an income and bring in food to support, especially all the fathers out there, the breadwinners, as well as the mothers. I'm not saying the fathers are the only breadwinners. Mothers are out there doing it as well. But the responsibility, or most of the responsibility, falls upon the man. The woman has to go out because there's no choice. The government has made it that way. There's no choice. There has to be two incomes, because If there's two incomes, then there's two tax brackets. If there's two tax brackets, then they're getting more money. So simple. They're just money hungry. But yeah, this is the way it is in New Zealand. I love New Zealand, don't get me wrong. It's still a paradise. I love waking up. I'm blessed. I thank God every morning that I live in this country, that we are not amongst the conflict that is happening in the world. We're just a little island at the bottom of Australia, away from everybody, and I feel quite safe here. But yeah, I'm actually glad that I paid for my ticket to the Philippines last Christmas, or we wouldn't have been able to afford to go. So I'm really, really happy that we did that. So that's coming up. That's coming up in end of May. We're off to the Philippines, a little bit closer to the conflict that's going on. We're over there for 2 months, but and I think it's going to do Rose a world of good. A world of good to be over there with her mother. And she's an amazing mother. Nana is an amazing woman. And I think Rose is going to enjoy having the time with her and her sister and her brother, and reminding her of the culture that she came from. I love the Filipino culture. Like I've said on my other blogs, if I could retire today, I would. I've got a lot of ticket for tonight, and believe me, if I was the lucky number, if I really hope if I was the lucky number, then I'd be selling up my life here in New Zealand and I'd be going to the Philippines. We've got a house in the Philippines. We don't owe no mortgage on it. I paid for it outright about 2.5 years ago. So we're going to stay and enjoy our home over there. That's our retirement. I've got to do a bit of work on it over there. I've got to tile all the stairs. I would like to tile the porch as well. Rose is telling me that all she wants me to do is go over there, put my feet up, because I work so hard here. But that's my generation. We've always been taught to work hard, head down, ass up is the old term. And you don't moan or complain about a situation, because I tell you now, there's always someone out there that's got it worse than you. Totally. So I don't complain about a lot, because there's always someone out there that's worse than me. But I will fight, and I will voice my opinions if it's going to better and help other people who don't seem to have a voice. So, and I suppose that's what I'm doing now. So, recapping on this blog, New Zealand is still the most beautiful country, I think, in the world. With its scenery, like especially the South Island, all the mountains now in the Southern Alps are covered in snow. It looks beautiful. It's cold, but it looks beautiful. When you go for hikes and go into the bush, you can't help just marvel at the splendor of the scenery. It's just incredible. To actually live it, you blog it's one thing, but to be actually experiencing it is a completely another thing. So, but the political stature in this country is less than perfect. A lot less than perfect. And I need to say this, and I need to say it out loud. No offence but it's a corporation, and the corporations aren't there to serve the customer, which is us. It's out there to service the shareholder. So that's why they demand such high salaries, because it's a corporation, so they get paid according to the corporation, what corporation dictates to be for their members to be paid. The CEO and the financial advisor and all the rest of it. So yeah, well, that's my bitch for the day. I hope this hasn't bored you. I just thought I'd need to update you on what's happening with Rose. Make that apology. I'm trying to get them out as much as I can, but it's just tough at the moment. I need to be there for Rose. I need to show people what it's like to live in New Zealand, because those fuel prices also push up food prices because of transportation, especially diesel. If the diesel goes up like it is, it's just inflating the economy unbelievably, and it shouldn't be. So anyway, that's my blog. Thank you for listening to me, and I will see you soon. So from me to you, I'll see you on the road. Catch you later. Bye.